This is the second part of our conversation with Luka Svilar. So if you have not listened to the first one, please do that first and then join the second part of our conversation. I have 5 questions for you. You can decide whether you want to expand on each question or just answer very shortly. Is that clear?
Yep.
Is there anything that you used to do a lot as a coach, like maybe training someone, but currently you are not doing it anymore?
Mm, that's a good question. Mm.
Maybe there
Maybe
are like exercises, or
yes.
maybe there would. Uh-huh.
Uh, I think what I'm not doing um, anymore is that corrective work. Uh, I grew up as a coach in the era of Gray Cook and
Mm-hmm.
movement screens, whatnot, and correctives, and it kind of took a big part. It had like a big impact on me, and I realized that correctives were taking a lot of time, and you could witness that when you were in Croatia doing your internship. The first part of the session, a lot of mobility work, a lot of stability stuff, blah blah blah, and that kind of changed over the years. Um, it Corrective work became a prehab work. Prehab work became a very specialized prehab work, very focused and tailored around knees and ankles. Uh, I don't do a lot of spine, shoulder, neck mobility, stability stuff. Um, even though you might detect something in players as lacking, if something is very problematic with the shoulder, obviously you would address it. But I don't go so deep into movement screens anymore. I think those kind of things changed significantly. Then, when it comes to strength training, during the in-season program, I would I would do I would still do sessions with like 6 to 12 repetitions in a set, and now I kind of changed to lower reps, up to 6 during the in season. If there is something like if there is a specific uh, reason to do it, like younger player who's not playing, blah blah blah, then you might still do like hypertrophy type of training, more classic, higher reps during the in season. But if I say during the in season, I consider players who are playing
Playing, yes.
significant minutes, 20, 25, 30 minutes every single game, at least 15 minutes. So for those players, I kind of simplify strength programs, and we go for developing and maintaining strength. We go 3 to 6 reps, sometimes even ones and twos in couple of sets. So I became a fan of lower reps during the in-season strength program. Um, I became very picky and selective with the things that I test, and with veteran players who know their bodies, the initial conversation becomes a very important testing tool. So if they say I missed this kind of strength, or I had this kind of injury, that already is way more important information for designing a program compared to testing them on a single leg squat, on a force platform, or force frame, or you name it. So testing kind of evolved or changed to be very picky, very selective, and not just doing, oh, everyone will do this 7 tests, and we will collect data, and it's important to kind of compare to previous year, or compare to previous generations of players. I don't go that much into those kind of testing for analyzing what was in the past, or comparing players, or those kind of things are not something that kind of really makes impact on designing different programs. So I would say those kind of things. Testing, I explained. Strength a little bit. Okay, we can talk very detailed about
Hmm.
strength, but uh, things changed because the environment where I work kind of changed things also for me. It kind of guided me, and I had to adjust to the environment of playing 2.5, 3.0, or 3.5 games per week.
Hmm.
So only that changed, and changed how I work and what I
Yes.
prioritize. And it doesn't mean that if I would go back to being on a team that plays only one time per week, maybe I would go back to the things that I used to do, when it comes to strength training or whatever. So a lot of things changed and evolved just because of the environment where I work. And then some of the things also changed because I changed a little bit as a coach, and I realized that some of the things are not so uh, impactful. Like those correctives, they are not so impactful as I thought that they can be. You know, uh,
Hmm.
because a lot of players are not very also focused when they're doing certain things, and then just some of the things are not so impactful as an exercise. You know,
Yes.
so
Oh.
maybe you have something else in your mind that we can touch,
Uh,
or you
actually,
think that, yeah.
yeah, like I do not call them correctives. I do them. I call it daily stretch. It's simple. I don't do the FMS, but I do simple assessments like for hip rotation, hip flexion. I mean, all of these like ankle, let's say checking ankles, shoulders, hips, and then I know if somebody's too flexible, we don't do any stretches. If somebody is like flexible and just very tight at the hips or the ankles, so then we just focus on those. I call them just like daily stretches that they do before basketball game or before basketball practice. So those type of things I do, and it's exactly the reason why in my population they are young. They are, let's say, 14 to 17 years old, and they need to develop that routines, those routines that we were talking about. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason why I do them is I need to learn them that hey, you cannot just go in the court and start shooting.
Yeah,
So that's another reason why.
agree. Maybe one thing that I would add uh, to those basic stuff in strength and conditioning world, I also became uh, a true believer in monitoring load as something that is very important in the long run to understand uh, what your body has been through and what you are really trained for. I'm not talking about load management, and I'm not talking about my PhD, and I'm not talking about numbers on catapult, kinexon, uh,
Hmm.
and the science, and scientific research. I'm talking about something that uh, we have to be reminded of because it's written in all of the training theory books. And if you look at the pyramid of priorities, at the base of the pyramid, it's always going to be load, how much you load the body. Because if you load the body too much or too less, it can harm you. If you find and optimize, you will grow and maintain your qualities, right? So just being aware of that um, throughout the year, and understanding how your body or body of your players individually adapts. This is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about like the newest technologies and the use of microsensors and blah blah
Hmm.
blah fancy stuff. I'm talking about uh, time on feet. I'm talking
Hmm.
about simple. If you want, you can we can talk about the session RP, where you multiply the time of
Hmm.
the session with your own perception how hard something was. but even that is already a little bit of science. I'm
Yes.
talking about pure, at least time on feet. So
Yes.
as a parent, one of the preventive strategies for developing jumper's knee, for example, is obviously knowing the strength of calves and quads of your kid. If they can do 50 single leg calf raises, bent knee, straight knee, or they can
50 or 15, you said?
50, 50, 50. Like I'm talking about extreme number, but
Yes. Yes.
at least to do 25, 30. If your kid
Yes.
does 15 calf raises on one leg, and stops because it burns like hell, he's predisposed, right, to having problems like
Mm-hmm.
jumper's knee. But taking care of local strength of your calves, quads. If that is okay, you can still develop jumper's knee through overloading the body, through crazy off-season work, or crazy in-season amount of work without
Mm-hmm.
having some kind of rest after every 3 to 4 weeks, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So just
Mm-hmm.
taking care of or monitoring time that your kid spends in physical activities, strength training, skill sessions, games, trainings on a weekly basis, and then comparing in the long run, week to
Mm-hmm.
week, and how that fluctuates, you know, is very important. And I became a true believer that things can be controlled and you can avoid stupid injuries like overuse injuries uh, just by monitoring and understanding uh, for how long have you been pushing your body a little bit uh, more, and when it is time to shift from the fifth gear to a third gear and kind of
Mm-hmm.
cruise a little bit and then go again fifth gear or whatever, uh,
Yes.
so so I'm talking really from a perspective of what was written for many years in training books, and we brought it back to life, um, and we kind of butchered it by use of technology.
Mm-hmm.
And we started to talk about load monitoring, load management. Players are missing games because of you can take the player out from the list, and you can say that he's out not because of injury but because of load management, and everyone hates it. Fans hate it,
Mm-hmm.
you know club owners hate it. uh, so it's not good. It's not good. But I'm talking purely about what is written in the books and what is one of the very important principles of training. And as strength coaches, I think we should be aware of it and we should know what is happening on the individual basis. And that kind of evolved throughout the years because I was not aware of the uh, early in my career, I was not aware of the simple techniques or tools how to do it. Time on feet, just taking care of time on
Mm-hmm.
feet is simple. It was reintroduced to me around 2014-15 when things started to be published by Tim Gabbett and those kind of researchers. And then it kind of evolved into being a user of micro technology, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized that uh, micro technology and everything that is tech based is just a tool to understand a little bit more certain things, but we should still be thinking and talking about monitoring loads as a pure principle of training, not something new and something very recent because of technology. It has been there for decades, ever since the training was there. So simple tools that players can uh, use, or parents and definitely coaches, right?
Yes, what like, I really like what you're saying about that. You are not talking about that science type of assessments now, but also what to add to this is, as I talked in my recovery course that I made for parents, also for players, is that school, parents, friends, all of them can be a stress, can be a load, but at the same time, like family and friends, they can be something that takes out stress from you. So that mental, maybe you get home and you are, everything is good in the family and you're feeling great and parents are talking to you nicely and you feel supported and so on, but maybe sometimes parents are putting too much pressure on you. Sorry, and that is a load for you. And maybe instead of like just basketball load, we have also load of school, we have load of friends, and we have load of parents. And the other person at the same age, maybe he has just one type of load, which is basketball. Everything else is fine for that person except that. So that would be also one thing. I mean, we don't have equipment to measure those things, but this is something that, like, when I make schedules for the players, sometimes I'm surprised. They spend, let's say, in school from 8 to 3, then they have, let's say, 1 hour break, and then they have 2 hours of practice, and then they get home at 7 because they need to also commute, and then they have to do their homework, and then they go to bed 11 or 10, and then next day is the same 8, and then maybe they have weight room and so on. I'm like, this is like impossible. I don't know how can someone spend that much time, like us, after work. We don't have any homework, we don't have trainings, like, and so on. So that's what I thought I would add to your type of load example.
Perfect.
I'll skip a couple of questions because we touched on them, but last two would be is, what do you think parents could understand better about long-term success for a kid? Like, because sometimes it seems like maybe they're pushing them too much or maybe not pushing enough. Like, what do you think would be important for parents to understand?
Just being patient. A lot of parents are impatient and they want the best for their kids. There is no doubt. But also a lot of parents are kind of pushing things because they become obsessed by, okay, I didn't have this chance as a kid. I was not that good. So I want my kid to be the best tomorrow or now, you know, and just being impatient is a classic for parents. Um, it's not easy to sit as a parent and watch your kids grow. You're greedy to see more, which is normal, but you need to meditate on a daily basis and
Yes.
be just grateful for the process. And unfortunately, we can use the uh, this term trusting the process, which is kind of stupid term to explain uh, the life and how it goes. But really, parents should trust the process. And if your kid is good enough to play basketball and become a pro hooper, eventually he will get a contract. We are not living in the age of 60s and 70s where uh, if you don't talk about your kid and you don't go to the right agent, your kid will not get a chance. Today, you know, it takes one post on social media, one game, and your kid will receive 100 scholarships and 100 contracts. Uh, so just enjoying the process, trusting the process, things will fall in place when they need to fall in place. Don't rush uh, by changing coaches, changing clubs, changing teams, just because things in the past couple of months are not going well and your kid is not getting minutes. I always say, if you commit to something, commit at least for a full basketball season. at least one full basketball season. Because even if coach uh, is an asshole and you didn't know that he is, maybe things will change. Maybe that coach will change. Maybe a kid in the same position will get injured or will go to another club and your kid will get a chance. So be patient. Commit to certain period and be patient, you know, and then go step by step. I guess that's the thing that every parent needs. Uh, just stay calm, be grateful, and be an example to your kid. Because if
And
you are nervous because of something and you're freaking out, your kid is the same multiplied by 3 or 5 or 10. So you're not doing a favor to your kid, and he's the one who is the athlete, not you.
and would that be the same thing what you would advise to a young player who wants to be professional basketball player, like be patient, trust the process, commit with, or would you add anything else?
Oh, I mean, definitely to the uh, kids, it's the same thing. You know, it takes time to become a pro. It takes time to get a chance. Uh, you know, everyone eventually gets a chance. You know, and um, some players will later say one of the most impactful seasons for me was the season when I didn't get as many minutes as I thought that I will get. The problem is if you're really sitting on the bench, that means that you're not getting any minutes, like 0 minutes. That's not good environment for you, you know. But as long as you're getting some minutes, as long as you have good environment to grow and work on your skills uh, and your body, and you can learn from veterans and coaches around you. It's good environment for you, right? So I would say uh, that players should focus on uh, things that can bring their game to a higher level, things that can bring their body to a higher level, mind to higher level, and just uh, knowledge for the game to a higher level. So learning how to analyze the game, how to analyze the opponent, uh, to become a student of the game and to become an expert, to um, not just to be a player and using your body to play the game. You need to invest time at the early age, not so much, but still, when you watch EuroLeague at the age of 15, don't just look at the crazy athletic moves and who is wearing Kobe's and who is wearing, Adidas shoes or whatever. Try to analyze the game from a tactical point, um, team tactics, individual tactics, individual skills. Try to resonate with different things that are happening on the court and become a student of the game, and that will definitely bring your overall game to a higher level. So just studying the game, studying the people around you, studying veterans, studying uh, professionals. Watch documentaries about successful professionals that last for many years, like LeBron, what it takes. Okay, now we know a lot about LeBron, but not only LeBron. Think about other here in Europe. Great example, Marcelinho Huertas, who is, watch everything that you can from Marcelinho, so you know how to be that great at that age, and still not only playing but enjoying basketball. So it's also the mind part, not only the body. So I think it can also resonate with the name of of your show.
Exactly. This is the idea behind This is the shameless plug: basketball, body, and mind. Just work on those three things consistently. Don't stop. Don't give up. And to summarize our conversation, like, let me know if you would like to add anything. But my three key takeaways from the call, first would be physical, about that you do not think too much about basketball specific things. Just master your own body weight and learn how to use your body weight, your body, for your advantage. Second, ask for help. Ask for help. We coaches, whether we are talking like basketball coaches, but strength coaches, psychologists, whoever reach out, we are super happy to help someone who is willing to take that help from us. So please, please, please ask help. And last would be, I could take more those key takeaways, but last would be, learn the routines, be consistent with them, and trust the process and trust the work that you are doing. As you said, Luka, everyone eventually will get the chance. You just need to stay in the game for a longer time. Maybe your chance will come at age of 16, maybe somebody else will come at age of 22, but trust the process, keep going, and as Marcelino Huertas has, have the fun in the process. Luka, thank you very much for your time today. I would like to ask you very shortly, but can you please tell about your new project that you are starting? Because I know that people would get tremendous value from the work that you have actually done with your other project, but with the new project also.
Well, the new project is not something unique. It's just kind of evolution of the things that I have been doing, and I've been talking to you about it, um, and moving into the space of online coaching. So there are a couple of things that I'm now more open to, and it is online coaching and online mentorship. Uh, at the moment, mentorship for younger coaches is done one-on-one. I might be open in the future for a group of students to mentor, but at the moment it's one-on-one, and it has been pretty successful. I've been doing it in the past, but now I've been a little bit more consistent with it. And when we say a project, it's just because on social media it's published, or will be published. And same thing for the online coaching. I have certain limits to it. I don't want to become an online coach influencer with I don't know how many clients, and then talking about growing the business and 10xing the income, whatnot. I really want to do it. Obviously, it's always great to earn a dollar more because of the family and future and whatnot. But I really want to. I have capacity and desire to coach. At this moment, I have a little bit of time to guide some players throughout the process of being professional or playing basketball at the high level. So I will be open to online coaching. I don't know at this moment to how many clients. So I'm not announcing that as a crazy big project because I don't think that I could handle 50 or 100 players with online coaching. So it's just gonna be something that I'm already kind of doing it, because when I'm not with my clients in person, we do stuff online, and that's how it became a natural thing for me. A couple of years ago, I would not be so much into online coaching, but then I realized that things can be done, especially if you have a good platform that you run from. Uh, and I'm talking about like phone app and having those kind of things. And now I have it, so I will be open to online coaching players in the at least in the next couple of years, and I will see where it takes me. But it's just being passionate about coaching, and that's why I want to do it. And you will help me along the way because you have you have the experience, and I like to share stuff with you. So I will go step by step. But yeah, those are two main projects that are kind of new, but again, they're old. As I say, they are just projects because they might be announced very soon on social media. But at the end of the day, it's not something completely new. So yeah, we'll see.
If you are a coach, definitely check his books, check his courses. If you are also a coach, check his the new mentorship. If you are a player, connect with Luka, see if he can help you. There is simply no one better in the field. I know he will not agree with me, but there is no one better in the field. And for everyone else, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode. That is the best way to support us. But for now, keep training basketball, body, and mind.